Tali's going to talk to us today about harnessing AI and personalization, more personalization, a new frontier for email marketing. There you go. Tali, take it away, please.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Hi, everyone, and I hope everyone is excited to speak about AI, email, and how we can take unfair advantage about it. So, I have a question. How many people use AI on a daily basis? All right. How dependent your productivity on AI? Less hands. All right. How many of you in the last 12 months used AI or AI tools for lead generation? None. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the stats. So just quick introduction about myself. I am running a digital marketing agency. We work with small, medium-sized businesses, helping them with everything related to digital marketing, as well as AI adoption and business strategy. What we're going to discuss today, we will speak about AI, some email evolution, if not, I feel like we have enough older people who remember, old days of email. We will be speaking about AI in email, personalization, that's super important. We will be looking at some AI use cases as well as results of WSI AI Business Insights report, where we surveyed more than 500 businesses, and we will take a look at top 3 takeaways. Okay, so let's just cover some of the basics of AI. So AI isn't just a new set of tools. It's a new word. Based on PwC, by 2030, there will be $15.7 trillion in global economic growth that AI will provide. So this is huge, right? AI consulting market is growing at 35% compound annual growth rate between 2023 and 2028. So there is a huge opportunity. And who will get the biggest share of this prize? Obviously, those who take the lead now. And just to cover some of the definitions and basics of AI. So AI basically is a simulation of human intelligence processed by machines, especially computer systems. Key AI components are machine learning or ML, natural language processing, NLP, and data analytics. So basically, AI is making software smart. It creates its own rules to achieve goals. It determines and follows its own path without human interaction, and it learns and improves on its own. And it's also important to remember that AI now is just in the beginning, just development. From here, it will just grow. Some examples of generative AI, I'm sure a lot of you're familiar with a lot of tools. It can write content, create images, audio, speeches, podcasts. Programmers can write code, compose music, and email. We need to remember it could be used in email, but email is a mechanism to deliver this content. Before we dive into all the examples, just to give you a perspective and sense of AI's intellect, it is said that Einstein had an IQ of 160. Today's ChatGPT at about 155. So it's almost as intelligent as Einstein. And Mo, the former chief business officer of Google, says that ChatGPT could have an IQ of 1600 in the next year at the speed of the current speed development. So if you assume that he's even 75% wrong, we are still dealing with technology that exceeding the intellectual capabilities of human being. So what does it mean for you, for me, for our businesses? This map we call it subway map. So this is digital system map that we created a few years ago, just showing all the digital marketing channels, how they interact, all the touch points, and it also shows that in today's world, we can just focus on email on just deliverability. We have to look holistically at all the channels and customer experience and how it travels, right? So recently, a couple of months ago, we updated this map by adding AI. Because this will be going through the whole channels. It touches all the points. All right, so let's speak a little bit about the evolution of email marketing. For those who don't remember the old years ago. So the 1970s gave birth to email, but it wasn't until the 1990s, early 1990s, with the rise of internet and wider email adoption, when marketers got opportunity to send email marketing campaigns. And this was like really text-based emails there. I'm sure you remember those times. Mass emails, nobody segmented anything. So basically just spamming people. And the response was super negative from recipients. And this basically cemented the term spam. That's where it's coming from. Now, this rise of HTML at the late 1990s, marketers got ability to design emails. So we could add images, buttons, call to action, to add some colors. So it was super exciting. And this was a game changer. But it's still lack of personalization, segmentation, and everything. It was good looking, but not really for everyone. The relevance still was lacking, right? And in the beginning of 2000, with rise of email marketing platforms, marketers finally got opportunity to segment the list. And the change was dramatic. Direct Marketing Association reports that segmented campaigns provide 760% increase in conversions in revenue. So this is huge. So we're just speaking about history a little bit. Now, when we speak about AI in email marketing, I have a question. How many people use AI to create content for email marketing? So my numbers wrong then. We have like 4 hands, maybe 5%. I don't know, my math. So 49% of email marketers use AI to create, help with creating content. And 35% of marketers use AI in their email marketing. So it could be a little bit of automation, a little bit of personalization, and etc. So if you compare the old way and AI way for email marketing, manual IP scanning and rotation, historically, now we have real-time predictive reputation smart routing. Lead generation and basic scoring is old way. We have AI-powered data enrichment, validation, and dynamic personalization. Time-consuming sunset policies compared to auto-suppression and AI-powered segmentation. Time guessing when to send best time to send the emails. We have predictive timing, chunk sending, and role-based. And finally, content creation and production. So scalable AI-generated content for personalization. And we really have AI being baked into marketing tools. Just 5 months after release of ChatGPT, HubSpot didn't waste any time and added its version into the platform. Salesforce as well, the same week the HubSpot added ChatSpot to its platform, added Salesforce Einstein GPT, which basically has AI implemented in all the stages of Salesforce. And we actually have been testing this tool called Vivout. It's a little bit lower price point for small, medium-sized agencies, but it has quite interesting capabilities. I will show you in a bit. So when we speak about personalization, and those stats coming from the State of Email Innovation Report 2024. As you can see, most marketers, 36%, use and happy with very simple personalization provided by the ASPs. And expanding personalization would be high priority. If you want to stand out, need to use live content. Only 3% of marketers utilize this ability of using live content in the email and dynamic personalization. So it's your opportunity to surprise and delight your audience with dynamic content. So this would be a game changer, right? Now, we run a small test using AI for hyper-personalized campaigns. So this is not AI automated yet. As you can see, it will be a next step. But what we done here is we pulled contacts from Zoom Info. And we organized those contacts in Excel file with company information, contact information. Then we use Perplexity to group addresses together and make recommendations for the coffee shop based on location of the prospect. And then we use Google Maps just to verify that whatever Perplexity recommended makes sense for location. We used HubSpot to send those emails. And as I mentioned, we're looking to implement automation as a next step. And I will show you the results of this campaign, what came from 240 initial contacts. So this is just an opportunity. I know people using Zoom for other tools to send cold emails. A lot of people spoke about cold emails, but this is super personalized campaigns, even when it's cold, right? This is just an example of first email. Speak about industry, obviously company name, and location of the coffee shop to discuss potential collaboration. Second email again, it speaks about particular coffee shop and location to meet that would be convenient for the prospect. And finally, email number 3 as well speaks about company name, whatever they're looking for, and location of the coffee shop. So here is the result and what we learned from this campaign, that people feel personal connection to their neighborhood, and it helps to cut through the noise. In this case, the email was coming from Gennady, so he made himself available. And what is interesting, that even that there was an offer to meet in person in coffee shop, both people who booked meetings, they preferred Zoom meeting. So that was quite interesting. And first email in the sequence helps with building awareness, while email number 2 and 3 generated the lead. So if you look at the numbers from 240 to 50 to 2 meetings and 1 closed deal, it's a great conversion, right? For all email again. So now maybe let's take 3-minute exercise. So when it relates to AI and potential to hyper personalization, if you could personalize a message to your prospect, what would you focus on? Just one thing.
Value.
Value.
Yeah.
But value is value.
What's
Statement.
what's in it for them, the value.
Right.
Value of time.
You go. How are you?
What Matt said is his keynote. When I always read hyper personalization, it is the fine line between looking creepy and being that personalized to really add value. And I always see the more creepy side there. How do the folks know whatever? How do they figure out how transparent I am? How do they get the data? Especially in coding, where I do. Yeah.
I think contextualization is probably more important, like as far as what is going on. Like, so for example, I'm a huge Delta fan, but I had a not great experience flying out of New York after mail time. It was in the midst of the CrowdStrike thing. There was like storms on the ground in Atlanta. My flight was delayed 4 or 5 times, and we thought we weren't going to make it out. And then it's like, I had this really frustrating experience where they didn't really share a lot of information with us. And then the very next day, at the top of my inbox are like marketing emails from Delta. That's absolutely not what I wanted to see. But no, they weren't even asking how my experience was, because I had been pretty evident about that. But I think honestly, as much as who not to send to, like if you have a sale, if somebody already did the thing, don't send to them. Like if they already bought the thing. I think, I think honestly, hyper personalization is as much about the timing of the message and the context of the message.
Well, what I was essentially gonna say that when I think of the term hyper personalization, I'm almost thinking more about hyper relevance. So if I'm thinking a B2B marketing message as an example, who am I talking to? What pain points do they have? What's relevant in their world? And what exactly could I say to them that is important to their world? Right. So that's as a sort of B2B marketing perspective. So I'll just change the term in my mind from hyper personalization to hyper relevance. And that'll always keep me in line with what to try to focus on.
So in my opinion, hyper personalization actually would include relevance as well in the medium, right? I remember a couple of years ago, I was speaking, I think it was in Vegas when we went to innovation, I don't remember now, but I'm receiving a call, probably a month before the event. And usually, those offers I just delete. So, but there was something that caught my attention. So basically, the email was saying, you speaking at the event, and we something like providing 30-minute free consultation to help you with some tips for public speaking. So basically, it was a public speaking company training for public speaking. So I replied to this email because who doesn't want to get, half an hour of free consultation and some tips before you, speak. Where they fall short is we had the conversation, the call, right? So they basically, there was a trigger that got my attention, but after the call, they didn't follow up. So let's say we had a call, we discussed whatever, and said, yeah, sure, maybe we can discuss. So the guy disappeared. So it's important also if you have potential client that you can provide value, it's also important to have the follow-up process set up properly, right? So it's not enough just to attract someone, but it's also important to follow up with whatever process should be, right? For sure.
I have a comment, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, what I would say is, I would not use hyper personalization in cold outreach at all. I would say we actually don't do cold outreach in our company. It's only warm outreach, and even in those scenarios, we would not use hyper personalization. In fact, what works best is if we actually introduce a level of uncertainty. right? So you've done your research, you know who the prospect is, you know potentially what they could be looking for, you know they've interacted with your company. And yet, it's still a good idea to introduce, like, I'm seeing this happening in this industry, or I'm seeing this with, similar companies of your profile. And even then, you can introduce an uncertainty, and that actually works best than actually coming out and hyper-personalizing warm outreach. If you are looking for a specific item in terms of like where you can use hyper-personalization, is actually, Derek came up to us earlier, he's like, hey, I'm a user of your product. And he's like, but I've yet to roll out this particular feature. And I think using hyper-personalization in those instances where customers have certain features or benefits included as part of their product package or product solution, but have yet to roll them out, I think that is a relevant use of hyper-personalization.
For sure, thanks. All right, so let's take a look at some of the AI use cases and basically a new way to sign up and acquire those email addresses. So giveaway testing, I'm sure many of you saw on Instagram, let's say there is a post or the real video. And then if you're interested, maybe it's about losing weight, maybe it's about generating leads, whatever topic it is, there is a keyword that you're supposed to comment in order to get this blueprint, white paper, whatever it is. So we tested it, and you can basically build automation out of it. So here is a breakdown, right? And everything is done with AI here. So there would be automated call to action in the replies. And then when someone reply or shows interest, then you ask them to provide email address, so you send them this piece of material they're looking for. So what is great about this is, first of all, you're getting people who are interested in this product, service, whatever the post about. And it's a way to connect and gather email addresses as well. So I will show that's just the back end of automation, but I will show the results that we saw from this particular engagement. So you can basically get email addresses beyond websites, landing pages, and forms. That's basically a new way to sign up. And you increase engagement on social as well. The more people comment on this post, obviously the more people see it. So social channel benefits from this as well. And it's higher conversion. It's more than 20% higher in consumer spending. So that's basically big. And next one that I would like to speak is about custom GPTs. So if you find yourself writing certain prompts over and over again, it's probably a good candidate for custom GPT. And you can, chain those GPTs together. So for example, if you turn a blog post to an email, Google reviews or comments, you turn to something. So custom GPT is great for productivity. And here is an example of one of the custom GPTs that we created. So let's say if you have a Zoom call that recorded, you can create a custom GPT that would send a follow-up email, but it would be customized based on your discussion with this person. Think about it. If you have a webinar, and there is maybe 50 or 100 attendees. You record the webinar, you can ask attendees what concerns or questions they have, and you can utilize this data. Obviously, we need to speak about privacy before saying that everything will be recorded and used. So we're not touching about privacy here, but you can record using the script, using similar custom GPT, send a follow-up message to attendees where it will be much more personalized as a summary as well as discussion of the webinar compared to just a standard, here is recorded with a link, right? So this is what we're speaking about. Now, let's touch a little bit about chatbots. Chatbots has been around for some time. You can use it in a simple way, just plug in YouTube videos, websites, but obviously need to be careful to avoid situation happened to Air Canada when there was error with chatbot and a person missed a flight and then Air Canada had to pay a lot of compensation. So need to obviously analyze, right? But this could be from generating leads and emails through chatbots on the website by offering particular, special offer or white paper. And another positive thing with chatbot is helps a lot with SEO and website ranking because it shows Google that people stay longer on the website, they engaging, they spending time, and it basically improves ranking significantly. And you can upsell, there is a lot of options. So this particular chatbot would be used on the website, would be used on social channels, and the beauty of it, let me go there, here in the analytics, right? So it provides an opportunity to learn more about your potential customers, what's important to them. And you can use this information later for crafting content, for your email campaigns, for everything. And it provides also all the cross-channel analytics. So which channel performs better and how you can improve it, right? So which channel may be worth to invest more. But the most important, you getting data that really, your customers are looking to get answered about. Another great tool is Notebook LM by Google. Did anyone try to play with this one? Okay, so yeah, we played for some clients and it was quite impressive. So you just throw you can put just website link, you can upload some files, and it creates a podcast style. When you listen to this, it basically covers all the, let's say, we tested it for a client, he's a wine importer. So it scans the website, it finds all the wines, maybe it checks also reviews on Google, so what people saying. So it's really like having a discussion. So think about it, how this material could be used. And this tool, Google investing a lot in this tool, it will just grow from here. It's crazy. And it's just about how the new ways with AI to interpret the data, right? So how many ways? And we as marketers need to remember that there is limited time we have until everyone starts using it and everyone is, up there. So if you can avoid it, no, you can't. Revolution is really here. So now I would like to cover some of the takeaways from the report, insights report. So we basically surveyed about 500 small to medium-sized businesses. 93% of them have 500 and less employees. And basically, what their challenges, what their thoughts about AI implementation, and the overall their perception and strategies. So takeaway number one, and we earlier today we heard about education in different aspects. So AI is a big one, right? 69% of responders say they have not taken any form of AI training in 2023 and 2024, right? And 62% say that they're not slightly familiar with AI for business implications. So there is a big gap, right? And this is an opportunity. Takeaway number two, and this is kind of even bigger gap for me. 72% of responders say AI can help them meet their business goals in 2024, right? But at the same time, they didn't have any strategic discussion about it, right? So again, there is some, businesses just don't know how to take it. They don't know what to do about it. And number 3 is overcoming AI adoption barriers. So 100% of people would see a value of a plane, right? But they can fly it. So we can see value of so many things, but we can't perform. And there is a gap of knowledge and application. So again, here are the numbers. You can see that 43% suggesting that primary obstacle of AI adoption is practical rather than based on misunderstanding. So there is a lot of lack of understanding and how they build this AI roadmap and implement. So there is a big gap. So what should you do next? Time to act is now. If you remember, 69% of people need AI training and 62 not familiar with AI. So time to start is now if you want to be ahead of the game, right? And to understand the implication of AI, it's must to invest in AI education and AI adoption roadmap. So to build this maybe committee to understand how business is going to implement and go about AI. And social commerce now is new email opt-ins. And remember that we have to be accountable. We can't rely on AI outputs 100%. So everything has to be checked and verified if the data is correct. All right, so if you have any questions, I don't know, Ahmad, do you have time for?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Good time.
Oh, good.
So I have a couple questions. I'll start.
Mhm.
But we have a list. The social commenting.
Mhm.
Which tools are you seeing used? Like, are most people using? I saw like Linktree recently launched this, but what other tools are out there that people are using?
So we were testing, as I mentioned, it's basically email / CRM tool, and you can connect Instagram or social channels directly there. So if someone provides comments or emails, it goes directly to the email list. So basically directly to the platform.
And what type of results did you see? Like beyond just social engagement, which naturally will boost content, what type of engagement results did you see, or how easy was it to set up?
Oh, it's pretty easy to set up. It's straightforward. For now, limitation is 24 hours for basically the scheduling and the automation for Instagram. So all the messages has to go out within 24 hours. Maybe later it will be changed. And we saw more than 20% increase in spending from customers.
And good quality subscriptions come from the
Yeah.
as opposed to sometimes social brings in poor quality subscriptions.
Yeah, it's like with everything, right? Sometimes you need to verify everything, but yeah.
I'm curious, you showed an example of a campaign that you did, 3 emails.
Yeah.
1 week apart, using AI, prompting it the way that you need to. What impact does that have on deliverability? Because now, from what I've heard or the discussions that I've had, there's almost that question of how detectable is it that it was written by AI? So as people continue to adopt that and use that for their email marketing or for whatever they're doing, how does that, or what impact should they be thinking about from a deliverability perspective?
So the content, and good question. First of all, those tools that they claim to detect, it's written by AI, the same with blog posts. they're not reliable. For now, there is no tool that can tell you, oh, it was written by AI. We actually ran a test. We tested blog post that was written by a writer 10 years ago. Obviously, no AI back then, and it came 90% written by AI. So those tools, first of all, they're not reliable. Second, you can, as I mentioned, you can just take from AI, content and just put. Still, it needs to be adjusted, reviewed, humanized, and everything. But on deliverability, it shouldn't have effect. We actually worked with a client, and they. I'm against clients buying list. Obviously, I know everyone in this room doesn't like this, but they insisted that it's good quality list. They will go buy and they won't send emails. Okay. So in the beginning, it was fine. Like open rates, I was surprised. Like first day, it was maybe 15-20% for a cold email of this kind. That was not bad, but there was a lot of bounces. Right, so the bounces obviously created emails to go to spam folder and created problem with deliverability. So in this case, so this quality of contacts obviously was verified much better, right? It's because a few tools were used to verify the data before.
Any other questions?
Not in the, I'm not in the part of the cold email, well, not even a fan of it, but I'm wondering, do you know tools and specifically AI tools that are able to analyze data for e-commerce businesses, existing e-commerce businesses on retention basis to make the most of the data that we collect? I mean, we already heard that email is just about data collection. We've got tons of data, and I always have the feeling that we have so much, but we can't work on it. Do you know tools that could be used by efficiently analyzing data and helping us, rather than creating Excel spreadsheets and loading in data and doing heavy database work?
There is a Clay. I don't know, Matt, did you try Clay? Yeah, so there is a tool called Clay. It's an AI-based tool. We didn't use any of it here. So basically, this is about enhancing data.
How do you spell that? Like,
CLAY. Yeah. So basically, this is about enhancing data. We don't really use it. I just tested it for my own sake, just to see what it does, but we don't really for any.
I will say the notebook.
Oh, notebook
The
amazing,
book
yeah.
email is ridiculously cool. You can upload PDFs, 5 or 6 different PDFs for the same conversation, the same type. Maybe you get benchmark reports from all the different ESPs. You can upload them all. The system will look at them, then you can ask it questions. And then you could actually say, give me a 15-minute podcast. And the machine will make you a podcast with 2 speakers that have a conversation that talk about the data. And it's actually ridiculously cool because it's a quality level podcast that I would probably listen to if it was 2 real people.
Yeah.
is that how you create content for email commerce?
You
Actually, started going, honestly, I thought about it, like I could watch the podcast and not have to do any work.
So you don't even need to upload PDFs and files. You just put URL of the website, and Google will do all the scanning and create a podcast.
So it's really cool. I only learned.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But it's actually a very cool tool for taking large amounts of non-organized data, like PDFs, like websites, and then you ask it questions and it will give you back well thought out responses based on the data you've input. So it's like your own local large language model almost, where you query it with questions. So it's very cool to check it out. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you can.
It's also already has
It's a person.
Do we have any like dashboard tools that we use in Ignite that are helpful for taking that data and helping it somewhere to visualize it?
Anyone have that? Anyone have a data dashboard where you can then take that unstructured model?
You mean take an Excel file and then basically ask to do visualization or what do you mean? Yeah, so I would say you have to go either with paid or do custom, you can do it with custom GPTs with connecting APIs with analytics.
I think what I recently come across, there's a Dutch tool called Sano. So what they combine is email analytics website, there's all different unstructured data sources, and they get it together to the extent what I saw, I found it quite smart.
Same,
Sano, SEINO.
SEINO. The Dutch company, they're actually very cool. They won the innovation award at the Inbox Expo this year for their software. It's actually very cool.
Thank you. Along the lines of asking about tools, any suggestions for training on how to write really effective AI prompts for content?
That's a good question. So would be, as I mentioned, if you find yourself writing the same prompt multiple times, custom GPT probably, that's where you should go. And to be as specific as possible, right? So, they say like, it's like, because today you can speak to AI, right? It's like have a conversation. And this is exactly what it is, right? You have to be as detailed as possible and to test and see if it provides output that you're looking for, right? Maybe it needs to be slight adjustments, but just try to go to it and be as specific as possible. What you're looking to achieve.
I find like tell it, my audience is, they're speaking as this type of authoritative speaker on this topic with these guidelines. Basically, you write a paragraph or more of information, and then you say, these are the things I want you to think about from these perspectives for this audience. And then you just iterate and play.